So just an update on my bike. It says in the manual, of the build thing of this bike that you can leave it out in the rain. And I did. They didn't mention the fact that they sold me a chain that rusts. So, anyways, my chain rusted. So, first I ordered some oil and I don't have it anymore because I gave it to somebody. And I got it and it said, if you even touch this, you'll die. And I was like, what the hell? It was really scary. But I gave it to somebody that knows what they're doing. And I got this. And this stuff is so great. It has a little brush inside of it attached to the lid. And anyways, I put it on there. And the rust all just started melting off of there, and now my chain moves again. So, and also, this basket, these bolts on the basket didn't fit right. They were like, probably maybe that much too long. And so, the basket would jump around on the road. It's got those, it had these kind of locking bolts where you can't push the nut up any farther. And I called the company and I said, why are those like that? Because if you could screw the nut up all the way, it would have been fine. But instead, there's this gap. And, so you're going down the road and the basket's jumping around making all this racket. So I had to tie it down with rope all this time, because I couldn't get the right bolts. And I asked somebody I know, how do I determine what size of bolts I need? And they sent me some charts and I didn't understand it because, this whole thing has been just like either this stuff or you don't. So it's kind of, I haven't learned a damn thing. I'll tell you that much. I don't think. I mean, I did put this thing together, but I still feel like I haven't learned anything. So I went to this hardware store, like there's this small hardware store in town here, and there was this guy that looked like a ZZ Top guy. He had a real long beard, and I asked him if they had the size of bolts I needed. I brought the bolts that I had and said I need ones that aren't locking, that I can screw the nut all the way up, and he gave me this. He said they didn't have them, but this is what I needed. And so I couldn't get those singularly on Amazon, but I got this great little kit. It's this. And it wasn't that much either, but see the biggest ones there? That's the ones I've got in there now. And look, it doesn't move anymore. I'm so happy. And my chain is moving. So I got that all fixed, and I will never leave it out in the rain again. Well, I could just I can also just order a chain that doesn't rust. I don't know why, because they sell chains that don't rust, and that's the only thing. I only left it out in the rain for a couple of days, and that's the only thing that rusted. And so anyways, but what's really cool about this whole thing is, that I couldn't get that bolt singularly, so I had to buy this kit. But I had previously lost a couple of bolts off of this, which really isn't that big of a deal because there's two on it holding it. But I still wanted to get some. And guess what? That's these ones right here. So I lucked out. But just an update on my bike. I'm sitting here. I got everyday sheep grease all over my hands, and I got a baby bird to catch in the backyard. He flew out of the basket when the neighbors showed up and decided to mow their property. So he's out there running around in my yard. So I have all my cats in the house so they don't kill him. And they're all in here complaining. And I got to go out there and try to find him and put him back up in the tree again so I can let them outside. Not that they can't get up in the tree, but they just probably won't. But I hope he's okay. I tried to catch him earlier and he flew away from me, and so I just don't want him down in my yard. I would prefer they moved him into somebody else's yard, but my cats go in other people's yards. So anyways, but just an update on my bike. And I did wreck this once. The only thing I damaged on it was I did a little bit of damage to one of the pedals. That's no big deal. It just has like a scrape mark on it. That was like, I think that was the first time I rode it, I wrecked it. And I went over, and I was afraid to ride on the road then because I was just really, I just wasn't used to it yet. And I went over an uneven sidewalk, and these are really unstable. Like if you go over something like that, you would think with the two fat wheels on the back that it would be more stable, but it's actually less stable. And I mean, I just went over like so fast I couldn't believe it. And so the one pedal on the one side is scratched up, but it's not a big deal. I can get another, those just screw right on there. So I am going to get another headlight for this, and I'm going to get a phone mount so I can do some videos, and a stereo for it too. And not so I can listen to music like it'd be like a dork like these guys with the, what do they call those Harley Davidsons with the shields, and the guy's going down the street and he only has 3 channels and he's listening to you know, like Boy George driving down the road. I like some stuff by Boy George, but I was just trying to think of somebody dorky. You know, I always think that's so funny when I see this macho Harley Davidson guy and he's, you know, driving down the road on his Harley and he's listening to Taylor Swift or whatever, because, you know, they only pick up like 3 channels. But I'm actually gonna, you know, get like a Sirius XM hookup for it, and so I can listen to my talk shows like when I go places or something. But anyways, that's in the future. But I love doing this. I love tinkering with stuff, and I love learning how to use new tools. And I know I said I didn't learn anything, but I did. And now I'm going to go put these other 2 bolts in here. And then I'm done, and I can go up and visit my friend up the street. All right. Have a great Saturday.